The 575th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. You can win up to 100 times your entry with the Underdog Fantasy Pick'em. Sign up with promo code MMA SGPN to claim your special pick and first-time deposit offer of up to $250 in bonus cash. That's UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MMA SGPN. We're also brought to you by the Mega Memorial Merch Sale, 15% off everything in the SGPN merch store. Just use promo code SGPNMay.
Howdy ho, degenerinos, and welcome to the MMA Gambling Podcast and the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, episode 575. Preemptively, I'm going to dedicate this to the people of Poland because I'm going to offend you very, very shortly. This episode, not intentionally, but I'm going to offend you very soon. I will be your host, Jeff Chalks Fox. We have a KSW event going down in Poland today, which means there's a lot of Polish names, and that I have found to be my weak spot. Apparently, I have many weak spots. That is one of them. Pronouncing Polish names. I never realized any of these Achilles heels of mine until I actually started doing a podcast. I always thought, why can't this guy pronounce anything? And then I started doing it myself. I'm like, oh, okay, I can pronounce it in my head, just not out loud. So yeah, we're gonna have fun. It doesn't really matter how the names are pronounced, as long as you can, as long as they get close enough for you to know which fighter to actually bet on, then we're set. We got, as I said, we have KSW going down. It's a double title fight event going down in Poland with some familiar names on it, whether you're a hardcore or not of the sport. So that should be fun. And this is, as I said yesterday's podcast, we're working a week out from these events because there's not much in terms of regional MMA going down this coming weekend. Basically, UFC 302 is going to be taking all our attention this weekend, but then the weekend after, the weekend of the 8th, a buttload of events. We covered one yesterday, Cage Warriors. It's a Friday event. This one is a Friday event too. This is going to be a double screen, split screen, multiple screen day, because we have Cage Warriors at noon on Friday, and then we have this KSW event at 1 p.m. So let's bring in the man who's going to make all the winning picks after I tee him up for it. It's the one and only Daniel Gumby Vreeland. Hello.
So this is one, I think you said it on yesterday's episode because I listen to what you say, despite you not listening.
I was just going to say, how many betting lines? Well, actually, no, I have lines for you. So,
well, and that's what I was going to say is I didn't see betting lines on this. So
okay.
If you can remember, because I know this is maybe one of your worst tricks.
Polish names are my worst trait, but yes.
Yeah, they're all pretty bad. If you could not say the line, I will give you what I wrote down as my personally lined version of it, and then people can do with that knowledge what they may.
Okay, that is good to know. I will I will effort
anyway.
as you're gonna tell me expression anyway. Goes. I'm gonna will I go 5 for 5? Probably not. I'll get distracted by something.
I'm gonna say you'll mess up at least 2.
Really? Okay, well, maybe I'll buckle down here. No, I'm going to get so distracted by the names I have to say that everything's going to go out the window here. So this is a pretty solid KSW card, though, right?
Yeah, I really like the main event and the co-main event, despite it being the 5th time that these guys have fought.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, like I still really like the fight because, we got a weird draw in there at one point in time. We have kind of a controversial split decision one time. There's a large chunk of time in between the fights. Like it's a warranted 5th fight, a very rare warranted 5th fight. And I think it's always been a fun stylistic matchup. And I'm excited to see it again. So.
Yes. Is it the 5th? I thought it was the 4th time. It's the 5th time.
No, they fought 4 times already. Man, this is the 5th one.
Yes.
It's 2-1-1 right now.
It is. Yes, for the champion. Yeah. So that is Cage Warriors, and a lot of names. If you are strictly a UFC fan, there's going to be some names on this fight card that you're going to recognize as well.
I like how you said for the champion, like you're not even going to practice saying his name yet.
Nope. Oh, I don't want to. I don't want to waste my ammo yet. Come on, it's a long episode coming up. We just finished up the biggest week in racing, but that doesn't mean the action stops for our men at the NASCAR Gambling Podcast and the F1 Gambling Podcast. That would be Rod and Cody. They've got you covered for every kind of racing every week, and they're always making big wins. I always see them on this social media, talk about the big wins that they have made or have given out to their fans. And hopefully when you hear this, they will still be giving away their Kyle Larson diecast car. It's free to enter that contest. So just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/race to enter that and to register. And make sure you do subscribe to their shows on your YouTube and on your podcast catchers. That's NASCAR Gambling Podcast and the F1 Gambling Podcast. Today is Memorial Day, so thank you to all who served, United States ones. And we're running a mega Memorial Day merch sale. Since this is still the Memorial Day long weekend for you guys, I assume the sale is still on. 15% off everything in our merch store. That would be sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Promo code SGPN May. You can get lots of cool MMA Gambling Podcast gear. Even a shirt I'm wearing, not the actual shirt, but a replica. All that in the store. So check it out. Now we're going to dive into some KSW Konfrontacja ut Walki. You say it better, Gumby. Go.
Konfrontacja Stuks Welki.
Listen, what's with you? You don't even live with a lot of Polish people in your area?
You know I'm 50% Polish, right?
Do you have relatives that speak Polish?
My great grandma did when I was a kid. Her last name was Taco, which is a
fantastic
a Polish name. Yeah, she came straight from Poland. So.
Yes. So you know a bit of Polish?
I don't.
No.
I know how to say the names because I'm related to many Polish people and surrounded by many. So
yes,
I'll do my best. I still might mess up a couple, but not as bad as you.
Not as bad as me. Olsztyn, Poland is where this is going down. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds
Friday. Friday, 1 p.m. Excuse me. In a cage, 9 fights. We'll give you 5 of them, and then we'll see if he has any bonus picks for you. The Hala Urania is where the Urania Hall, I'm guessing is what that means, is where this is taking place. We're starting off with a fight that actually just got made, so there's no odds for this one yet, Gummy. So there you go. There's not going to be 5 that I can mess up. Only before I can mess up. Oskar Szczepaniak from Poland, go figure. Adrian Zieliński, there's an easy one, from Poland as well. This is a welterweight fight, 3 5-minute rounds. Zieliński will start with first, 24-13, 9 knockouts, 5 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times, submitted twice. 0-1 in KSW. He's won 2 of 3 and 4 of 6. Lost his last fight via KO. He's fought at lightweight, regional champion, 2010 pro MMA debut, an inch reach over Szczepaniak. 6-1 with. Are you snickering?
That's just the 3rd different pronunciation you've used.
I know. I figure eventually, if you're throwing exactly scattershot. He's 6-1. This man, whose name starts with an S in his head and a C in his head, 6-1 with 3 knockouts. Never been finished in a fight. This is his short notice fight for him. The fight just fell off. Actually, I forgot. We're still a week out, so he's going to have about 2 weeks to prepare for this fight, a little less. 3-1 in KSW. He's won 4 straight fights. He's not lost since February 2022. He used to fight at lightweight as well. 13 years younger than Zieliński, 2 inches of height. Zieliński, I got off with an easy one here.
Yeah, Szczepaniak is going to be one of those guys who I think probably would have been a favorite giving a full camp. You know, like you mentioned, 13 years younger. He's got the reach advantage, all that kind of stuff. But the fact that he's taking it on short notice, I think we wind up seeing this a pick'em. Is my guess here. And I'm going to go with Szczepaniak, despite the fact that he is a good thing. He's fighting on short notice. Yeah, like I think, you know, the short notice thing will probably help this line quite a bit. But like if you watch him fight, he's a really great kickboxer. He does a really good job of maintaining range. I like his speed. He does wind up a little bit on his kicks more than I prefer. But low hand kind of karate, maybe not all the way to karate, but lower hand stance, really good kickboxer. And he's going to be fighting Zieliński, who I think is mostly the best way to describe this. He's just a brawler. I think if he did decide to try to turn this into a wrestling match, he might have more success there, just both because it would like tire out Szczepaniak, and it would also like maybe be his best path to victory, because I don't think he's going to pick apart him, and I don't think he's going to get anything going in the striking really. But I just don't think he'll follow that game plan. I think he's going to try to turn this into a brawl, and when you try to brawl a guy who can maintain distance and cut angles and pick you apart with counters, that guy with the counters wins every time. So I'm going to say Szczepaniak wins here. I'm going to guess pick him. I'll be honest. If he inches too much into being a favorite, we start to see him close to the 200s or into the 200s. The short notice thing and the fact that he's so young kind of like gives me enough hesitation where I probably wouldn't be jumping on it. But if he stays in the low 100s, or if it is a pick 'em like I expect it to be, Szczepaniak would probably be worth a play.
Szczepaniak. That's how we're saying it, are we? Szczepaniak? Or that is how we...
I'm pretty sure that's how you do the CZ. And I'm somebody feel free to correct me, but I'm pretty sure it's Szczepaniak. Yeah.
The Pontiac is what it translates in English, right? I think
that's it. The Pontiac Grand Prix. Yeah.
The Pontiac Grand Prix. That would be a good nickname. People should have nicknames like that.
Yeah.
All right. I'm getting by with another easy one. We got another easy Polish name coming up. Roman Szymański. Not super hard. Marcin held. There's an easy. I guess the Marcin part you could get stumped on, but Marcin held. There's 3 5-minute rounds at 155 pounds. I'm getting by easy, like I said. Held 28-10, 4 knockouts, 15 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted once. 0-1 in KSW, 1-3 over his last 4. He got TKO'd in his last fight. 2-2 in PFL, 1-3 in UFC, 11-3 in Bellator. He's missed weight 3 times. It was quite a while ago, but still something to keep in mind. 2008 pro MMA debut, 5-2-4 as a pro grappler. Inch height, inch reach over Szymański, -115. This is a pick'em. Szymański is 17-8. I did it. Damn it. I did it already. The very first fight. God damn it. Szymański, 17-8, 4 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been knocked out 4 times, submitted once. 9-5 in KSW. 0-2 over his last 2. Obviously, 4-2 over his last 6. Got TKO'd in his last fight. Used to fight at featherweight. Was regional champion. 2012 pro MMA debut. A year younger than Held. -115. May as well say it again.
You didn't even get one of them.
What did you have it marked out as?
I had Szymański written down at -140. So I was pretty much spot on there. People maybe a little bit higher on Marcin held.
I wouldn't say UFC. Spot on. Come on.
I mean, that's 25 away. All the numbers in the world are available. All
the numbers in the world are available.
And I'm guessing the book's just a little bit higher on Held's grappling in Held's UFC career than I am, because at this point in time, to me, he looks toast as hell. I'm gonna go Szymański here. I thought he'd be -140, so a pick 'em price even better. And I actually thought there would be value on him at -140. Never mind value on him on pick 'em. I don't think he will stay pick 'em long. I think this will balloon up so that Szymański is becoming a pretty large favorite by fight time. Because if you go back and you watch, like, he lost a fight with who is it, Val Mircea. Or Mircea, who is a really tough Romanian wrestler. And in that fight, he held off Val a bunch of times in that fight. He stuffed his takedowns. He actually got some of his own grappling going in that fight. And for all of that to happen shows me that his grappling is probably already better, especially positionally, than Marcin held. Held is pretty much just submissions from the bottom at this stage in his career. It doesn't seem like there's much else. And on top of that, I think Szymański could just blast him on the feet if he wanted to. Stuff the takedowns, blast him on the feet. I think there's so many different paths to victory here, which include Szymański knocking him out standing, Szymański taking him down and just grinding him out until there's nothing left in him. And like pretty much Marcin Held's only path to victory is like finding a knee bar on a weird transition or something like that. So, I mean, if Szymański stays here down near the pick'em, that's definitely playable, even up into the mid 100s. Even like, look, I'm higher on him than I would be on the Szczepaniak line. And so, like, yeah, play him into -200 if he makes it all that way.
All right. Awesome. Remember when he was a thing, like a prospect that we were all interested in?
I was really into him when he came to the UFC. I'm like, this is a fun Polish grappling specialist. I saw him as like a, like Ryan Hall-esque, right? That was kind of the style he had, right? It was fun. He went for submissions nobody else was doing. And, Ryan Hall only met that ugly fate one time, and Marcin Held met it. Boy, did he meet it.
He lost to Diego Sanchez, Joe Lozon, and Damir Hadzovic. He beat Nasrat Hakpress. So not the worst run, really. Back in 2016, 2017, that's not that bad, really.
If I'm remembering correctly, too, he was up 2-0 on Damir Hadzovic. And he, I think, rolled to do an Imanari roll to start the 3rd round and ate a knee flush in the face.
So like your memory.
Yeah, like a weird choice to just like go for a submission that he had no business being in on. And Hadzovic just picked up his knee and knocked him out. And I'm almost positive I'm right about that. Feel free to fact check me.
Yep, you're right. I see it. No, I'm saying your memory. It's right in front of me here. 7 seconds in the third round that happened. He got kneed.
There it is.
Gumby is the man. So yeah, Marcin held. What could have been? All right, before we move on, Underdog Fantasy are still sponsoring us, thankfully. The NBA playoffs are here, and our sponsor, Underdog Fantasy, wants to make it a lot more interesting. Underdog Fantasy is the easiest place to play fantasy sports. Playing the pick'em game is as simple as selecting higher or lower on player stats like points, rebounds, assists, and so much more. Make entries of all basketball or mix and match across your other favorite sports. You can win up to 100 times your money, and it's a ton of fun. Underdog gives new customers a pick'em special in the lobby when they sign up. Plus, always check UnderdogFantasy.com's home screen because they have daily specials on there. Plus, Underdog will also be running a ton of different promos, bonus cash airdrops, specials, giveaways, and more throughout the NBA playoffs. So make sure to follow at Underdog Picks on Twitter to keep an eye out. You can sign up with our promo code MMA SGPN to claim your special pick, and first time deposit. Offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code MMA SGPN. Plus, I forgot to mention, Underdog is available in 30 plus states, including California, Texas, and up here in Canada. They also just launched Champions, their player versus player format in Florida. So check all that stuff out, UnderdogFantasy.com. All right. I think I'm holding up okay with the names. Things may start to get a little trickier here.
The main event's just really where it gets tough.
It's true. I think I've talked about both those fighters before, though, so maybe I can do it. First of all, Patryk Surdyn is in this bantamweight fight versus Shamad Erzanukaev. Did I do okay? Erzanukaev? I think I did. I think I did just swell.
Erzanukaev.
He says, you always say everything like you're Italian. This is a bantamweight. Mamma mia. This is a bantamweight fight. All right. Erzanukaev is 2-0 with one submission. Both those fights have taken place in KSW. He won his last fight via submission. He's not fought since December 2022. Used to fight at bantamweight, or this is bantamweight, is it not? Used to fight, I would have meant featherweight then. 1-0 as a pro kickboxer, 6 years younger than Surdyn. An inch of height, 2 inches of reach over here, -110. So we got another close one, this is good. We can make ourselves some money this year, this upcoming week, hopefully. I know I did it again. Once he started laughing, Surdyn 7-4, 1 knockout, 2 submissions. Oh my God, he's been knocked out once, submitted once. 2-4 in KSW. He's lost 2 straight. He's gone 2-2 over his last 4, 2-4 over his last 6. He used to fight a featherweight as well, regional champion. -20. And for anyone thinking this is a gimmick or a gag I'm doing, it is not. This is real. This is really me. I just get into my host mode and I just go.
You already hit the quota. I said you'd miss 2.
Yep. All right. I'm going to buckle down and do it.
There's been 3 fights and one of them didn't have odds.
Oh, God. It's so sad. All right. What did you have it at?
I actually had it at -250 Erzanukaev.
Oh, so I
for
think
2
you're gonna
reasons.
like this then.
I love this line now. Number 1, EV last name, usually an odds bump no matter what. I'm wondering if just the reason why the line is lower is because he doesn't have a big, long record.
Yeah.
He's only got a couple of professional fights. Like he's got plenty of other fights. In fact, I'm pretty sure, if I'm remembering correctly, when I was doing my research on news, he was like a 6 or a 7 fight undefeated amateur as well. So he's got like 10-ish fights under his belt. I'm going to go with him in this fight. Again, I thought he was -250. The fact that you can get him at almost even money, even more exciting. But I think for me, the big thing is, I really like, and you know how much I hate body like takedowns. I think getting it on the legs is the only way to go for the most part. I really like this dude's body locks. Like, I think he does an excellent job of getting like the lower back on the body lock takedowns. Greco-Roman style takedowns. I've seen a couple of times out of him. I really like his top control. I also like the fact that he's going to be fighting Surdyn, who, if you watch Surdyn fight, I'm not going to say he doesn't defend takedowns, but the way he defends takedowns is often just by like punching his opponent as hard as he can in places that maybe won't do tons of damage. Like he'll just like
boob. Boob punch? No, that does work. Actually,
boob TKOs are real. No, but he'll just punch your thigh a bunch of times and then wind up getting taken down.
That hasn't really picked up the thigh punches. You see it occasionally, but that hasn't really gotten into.
But he's like the type of guy who will do that. And to be fair, it's worked once in a while for him. Like I watched him. I can't remember which one of his fights I was watching, but he actually finished the guy with elbows to the side of the head, Curtis Blade style, or Josh Barnett style, or whoever you're going to use for that reference. But like he actually TKO'd a guy that way. So like now he's had success doing it. So I think he does it even more. You know what I mean? And Erzanukaev, I just think is a better grappler in a lot of those positions. I think Surdyn also has a disadvantage here that he gets like a little wild on the feet. He kind of lets things go and doesn't care if he gets off balance. And like, what could be worse than rushing forward and getting off balance when you're fighting a guy who just wants to clinch up with you and take you down? So I like Erzanukaev here as especially at even money. I thought he was going to be a big favorite.
Yeah. You didn't guess that one very good. I gave you a chance and you totally blew it. You said minus 250.
You didn't give me a chance. I could have lied about it because you told me.
All right. This is a co-main event. They do not do things UFC style here. This is the heavyweights, and the heavier weight classes have to be in the main event. Gumby, don't they know anything? Heavyweight championship, KSW. Phil DeFries, he's had 9 consecutive title defenses already. He's up against Augusto Sakai. So a couple of names, guys that you should know or were on your radar at one point, even if they aren't already. Sakai, 16-5-1, 11 knockouts. He's been knocked out 4 times. This is his debut. The pause there was me reminding myself, don't say the number. 1-4 for real. 1-4 of his last 5. He did win his last fight, but he still got cut from the UFC regardless. He went 5-4 in the UFC. 1-0 Contender Series. It's surprising Contender Series has been around that long, that Augusto Sakai was on it, but it has been around for quite a while.
He was on the Brazilian one too, right?
Right. Yep. Almost time again, ladies and gentlemen. Almost time. 4-1-1 in Bellator. 2011 Pro MMA debut. 5 years younger, and he's at blank. Haha. This one you probably can guess though. It's probably won't be that hard. DeFries, 24-6, 6 knockouts, 14 submissions. He's been knocked out 5 times. 10-0 in KSW. He is a champion, as I said. He's defended it 9 times already. He's won 12 straight fights total. He's not lost a fight since May of 2017. He's won 6 straight fights via finish. He went 2-3 in the UFC, 1-0 in Bellator. 2009 Pro MMA debut. He has 1 professional grappling fight, which was a draw. 1 inch of height, 2 inches of reach over Sakai. He's at blank.
I guessed Phil DeFries -175.
205. So you're right in there.
Okay. So 30 off. Yeah. So 205. I'm still going to take Phil DeFries here. Obviously I would rather the -170 line than the -205 line, but I think it makes sense. Phil DeFries, look, I think he can just follow the exact same game plan we saw out of Sergey Spivak. Sergey Spivak got in Sakai's kitchen, took him down. I want to say it was 6 times he took down Augusto Sakai, just wore him out, made it so that his punches didn't have anything on him, won rounds that way. And I think Phil DeFries could follow that. If you've watched Phil DeFries in his KSW span, yeah, once in a while he does fall in love with his hands. But even if he falls in love with his hands here, I don't think Sakai is going to hurt him necessarily. He hasn't, knocked anybody out in a decent amount of time. He just went 3 hard rounds with Dontail Kong Mays. So I think Phil DeFries here can handle what he's doing on the feet. And I think he's just going to get takedown after takedown after takedown after takedown. And I don't think Sakai is going to, even if Sakai gets back up, I don't think he's going to be able to do anything once he gets back up because he's going to be so tired.
Has DeFries, it's probably a combination of both. Has he gotten better, or has since he left the UFC, or has the competition just gotten easier for him?
I mean, the competition definitely easier for him. I mean, he's not fighting Stipe Miocic anymore, which is
that helps.
Probably good. But also, yeah, like I think sometimes earlier in his career, he was a victim of not doing what he's best at in just trying to mix it up and kind of get wild. And like I said, he still sometimes falls in love with his hands and thinks he's a good boxer, but way less now than he used to. I think he's leaning on what he's good at. And hey, like maybe he's just hitting at heavyweight prime too. Because as we've noted before, it's not like heavyweights are in their prime at 24. Heavyweights are in their prime in their mid 30s. So like maybe he is just hitting that, like, the right age for his body.
I am not a fan of in love with my hands. They're too small for my body. I could barely palm a basketball. It made dunking a lot harder. I two-handed everything, and it makes playing guitar harder too. So I wish I had longer fingers. But anyhow, we all have crosses to bear, don't we, Gumby?
That's true. I got big hands.
Oh yeah, well, there you go. Yeah. You but you're extra flexible, which probably can't. It comes in handy sometimes, but maybe not other times. So, like I said, all right, let's move on to rhythm, ladies and gentlemen. This is a good transition. Rhythm, RITHMM, newer sponsor of ours. If you're betting on NBA player props, then you need to download Rhythm. Rhythm gives you a menu of the best player props for every single NBA playoff game, making it easy to go through and find the best props to put your money on in seconds. Rhythm's predictions are backed by over 3 years of data and a team of data scientists and quants that focus on fine-tuning your algorithm to give you the best shot at winning. Rhythm pairs its predictions with player prop graphs to help you feel even more confident in your picks, which you can make wherever you normally place your bets or DFS picks. From superstars to bench players, Rhythm finds the best player prop lines, all backed by AI data without you needing to endlessly scroll a sportsbook. Rhythm also allows you to create your own custom NBA models, so you can get AI-backed money line, spread, and total picks for every playoff game. Start a free. That's the keyword, free 7-day trial, and start winning your NBA player props with Rhythm, available wherever you get your apps. And it's time for the main event, ladies and gentlemen. In most promotions in the world, heavyweight title fight, especially with 2 former UFC fighters, that would be a main event. But no, we've got a round 5 of a grudge match going in our main event. KSW Bantamweight Championship, Jakub Wikłacz versus Sebastian Przybysz. I remember I had fun with this one before. Przybysz. Gumby, go ahead.
I think it's Przybysz.
Przybysz. I got Jakub Wikłacz good though, right?
Yeah, Wikłacz is actually pretty easily, but Przybysz is, I'm pretty sure, the one that I messed up the most.
Yep, there's a lot of Y's, a lot of Z's. That is Polish for you. All right, this is our main event. As I said, 5-minute rounds, bantamweight championship on the line. Przybysz is Sebek. Is it Sebek is his nickname, or Sebic? Doesn't get much easier. I don't know what it doesn't mean anything in my world. Is that a short form for Sebastian? Maybe. Any help? Come on, you're Polish, I was told. Come on. All right. He's 12-3-1. This gentleman who goes by many names. He's got 5 knockouts, 4 submissions. Never been finished in a fight. That's impressive. A durable guy. 9-2-1 in KSW. He is the former champion. And he's gone 2-0-1 over his last 3. Was a draw in his last fight, and he's at plus 220. Don't worry, I know this is a rematch, ladies and gentlemen. Wikłacz Masa is the nickname. 15-3-2 with 9 submissions. Been knocked out twice, submitted once. 5-1-1 in KSW, and he's the current champion. 5-0-1 over his last 6. He's not lost a fight since July of 2020. He's 2-1-1 against Przybysz. I'm still changing the name, the way I'm saying it. Wikłacz used to fight at flyweight. 2014 pro MMA debut. 3 years younger than Przybysz. 2 inches reach on him. I told you the odds, didn't I?
You did.
Damn it. Motherfucker. Unbelievable. At least Gumby's having fun. Someone's having fun. You kind of kept it quiet because I didn't have the camera on, so I didn't see if you were laughing. And then I realized,
I was.
What would you have guessed, Gumby?
So it's funny. I had it close again. I had Przybysz at plus 200. And you said,
okay, cool.
You said plus 220. And yep. I'm going to take him in this one.
Ooh.
So here's the thing about this fight. And I mentioned at the top, it's an extremely fun fight to watch. And it's for, a very basic reason. And it's that they are both phenomenal grapplers and could not be less alike in the ways in which they wrestle. Because Przybysz is a guy who I really like his top control. I really like his wrestling. I don't think he does too many things on top that are like threatening or will threaten Wikłacz here. I think he does enough there and has good control, but he happens to be fighting a guy in Wikłacz who almost the exact opposite. He has got really good elevator hooks. He counters the grappling particularly well. He scrambles better. He goes for wilder submissions. And usually that's the kind of guy I lean on. I usually lean on the guy who's like, a little bit funkier. But I think having so much familiarity with one another, I think you got to go with the guy who gets the position first. You know what I mean? Like the guy who I think is going to score the takedowns and be on top first. And that's Przybysz. And I think he's going to spend most of the beginning of these grappling changes on top. And now that he knows the tricks of Wikłacz, or at least he better have learned it by now. They've spent a lot of time together. At this point in time, I think he knows what to look for. I think he knows the crafty things to try. And as long as he settles into those top positions, like he's been able to do against literally everybody not named Jakub Wikłacz, I think he will wind up with the judges' scorecards here. So I'm going to go dog here. I think this is a close enough fight too, where even if you're a Wikłacz fan here, or you think he's going to come out on top, I don't think you can get behind him at this kind of number. Like, I think this is a tight enough fight that if you see a plus 200 on one side, I think there's value there instantly.
Have you watched the first 4 fights between these gentlemen?
I can't remember if I've watched all 4 of them. I know I watched 2 of them live. Well, not in person live, but like 2 of them while they were happening. And I know I went back and watched one of them, but I can't even tell if it was the same one as one of the ones I watched live anymore. It's a lot of the same. Is the maybe the most frustrating part of it is it's like one guy taking the other one down, and then that guy getting some really nice counters and submission attempts. So, I mean, the exchanges are fun enough though that I wouldn't mind watching it at 5th time. So,
well, we will a week from this coming Friday. All right, let's recap his picks and see if he has any bonus ones for us. Przybysz as a dog in the main event. DeFries, Erzanukaev, Szymański, and oh no, what's this one again? Szczepaniak. Yeah, are his picks. A lot of good lines you're getting in here on Gumby.
Yeah, and it depends on what that Szczepaniak line is too. We guess pick them, but
right,
we're not
that's
quite
right.
sure on that one yet. Yeah, that one's
Yeah.
coming out. All right, lightning round. I got
round.
two. I got two here for you. There's going to be a fun light heavyweight striking fight between Krzysztof Glowacki and Dawid Kaspersky. And I'm going to take Kaspersky in this one. I think I like that he comes from. It's going to be a fun striking match because they're both 1-0 MMA fighters who come from striking backgrounds. One being a kickboxer, one being a boxer. I'm going to favor the kickboxer here in Kaspersky a little bit, and I also just think he's taken a lot less damage over his striking career. Joseph Belagori knocked him down a bunch of times, but like he hasn't been like knocked out from that what I've seen. Whereas like I have seen that on the other side. So I'll take the kickboxer there. And then another fight I'm liking, I'm gonna mess up this dude's name too. His first name's so hard. Timoteus Lopacek. So Lopacek, I like him. He's taking this fight.
You did good. Boo.
Yeah, Lopacek is going to be fighting Brian Hoy. Hoy was originally his original opponent got pulled to fight in a title fight. And I actually like the late notice newcomer on this one. I think I really like his grappling game. I really like his knockout power. I really like the level of competition he's fought. He's pretty much only lost to guys with like crazy wrestling ability. Like he lost to Ishmael Nardiev and Piotr Wawrzyniak from Octagon fame. Like those are the guys he's losing to lately. So it's pretty much guys who can just out wrestle him. And he's going to be fighting a kind of a Dutch kickboxer type. So, I like that will probably take place mostly on the feet. And if not, he'll be the one with the grappling advantage. So I like Lopacek there. So give me Lopacek and Kaspersky as my 2 lightning round picks.
Sorry, I distracted you with my booing. I was booing you for saying the name.
Do you have odds on those? I realized I just did lightning round and I don't. I could just look at odds, but I apparently didn't know they
it's true. I didn't even think of that because I don't think of anything. Apparently, don't even think not to say the lines. I'm going to get you odds. All right. Just a couple clicks here, ladies and gentlemen, and we will be.
You get to see how the sausage is made.
Exactly. Who are we looking for again? Who are the picks again?
Kaspersky.
Kaspersky minus 160.
All right, yeah, that's right around where I would expect. He's got the kickboxing advantage there, and then the other one I said was Lopacek, which might not be out.
Oh, wait a minute, yeah. No, it's not out. It's still his previous opponent's listed still.
Yeah, it's still Hoy versus his old opponent. Yep. Okay, yep. So I think he's probably going to come in as a dog as a late replacement, but who knows?
Cool. All right. Awesome. We will know soon enough. That's it. Another regional event in the books for you, in your ears, in your eyes. Like as I said off top, this is not this Friday, a week from Friday. All right, we are done. We are going to be in our Discord, though. We're always in there if you want to get a hold of us or just chat with us and the rest of the degens in there. It's a friendly group. We're sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. You can also reach us via the comments on our YouTube channel. Thank you, everyone who are in there and who have already subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, smash that subscribe button or whatever the kids say nowadays. That's MMA Gambling Podcast, obviously, on YouTube. You can check us out on Twitter, SGPN MMA, at Gumby Vreeland, at Jeff Fox Writer. I'm the same on Instagram. Get in my Substack, enter my pick'em contest for this weekend's UFC 302. That will be moneymma.substack.com. Also, my writings on the event, and I will have a DraftKings article and a whole bunch of other rankings and fun stuff will be on that Substack as well. Gummy's got Top Turtle MMA podcast where he interviews interesting people in the MMA space every week. Do we know who's up this coming week? I'm talking
to two fighters on UFC 302. I'm talking to Rude Boy Randy Brown before he gets ready for his pay-per-view spot. And then I'm talking to Basil Hafez, the Habibi, which you get a little insight into the nickname, the Habibi. And really excited for his fight too, because it's the guy's got one fight in his pro career, and it's a split, or his UFC career, and it's a split loss to JDM, which is hell of a place to be.
Yeah. Rude Boy, this is his debut on your show, is it not?
No, I've interviewed him a bunch of times.
Have you? Okay. Maybe that's why I like Rude Boy.
Way back when, I think when my podcast used to exist on a different, not named website.
Okay. Right. Yes. Maybe that's why I like Rude Boy. Maybe I know he's a good guy that is on Gumby's show often. Yeah, he's got a big spot here. He's on a good run, that Rude Boy Randy Brown. But
I think you'll like Basil Hafez too. Like he's a fun guy.
We'll be talking more about Rude Boy on Thursday, I guess, right? He's main card, and then Hafez is on our Wednesday show because he is a prelim this coming weekend. All right. Obviously, sportsgamblingpodcast.com for all things in the sports gambling sphere. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store, so you can dress cool like Gumby and myself. Sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon, so we can keep the corporate gambling lords at bay. All right, Gumby, you can bid farewell to the people now until tomorrow.
All right, I'm Danny Gumby Vreeland. He's the Pontiac Grand Prix Jeff Fox, and we will see you tomorrow.